Okay. Well, direct marketing refers to direct connections with carefully targeted individual consumers to both obtain an immediate response and cultivate lasting customer relationships using telephone, mail, fax, email, the internet, and other tools to communicate directly with specific customers. Okay, you already know that. Um, what direct distribution is. You've learned. And by direct distribution, you deliver your offerings to your customers directly without middlemen or without using any intermediaries. Here, this is the information or the messages that you are delivering to them. But this time, instead of personal communication, in other words, personal selling, you reach them with other individualized ways. Yes, which are telephone, mail, fax, email, internet, etc. And if it is the telephone that you are using, we call it telemarketing. So it is important to use direct communication by these tools with specifically targeted people. This is important. And this is the most measurable promotional tool among all, by the way. And because the aim is to get instant responses, therefore you will remember this is direct marketing. Next time when you hear hemen şimdi arayın or call now and blah blah blah. Yes, these all are direct marketing advertising, not classical advertising. So you can get when you hear them, understand anytime. Well, the last promotion element is sales promotion. You probably not hear it before, but it's very easy to detect. If you cannot put a promotion message in any of these other four, let's say, promotional tools, then it's probably sales promotion. We define it as short-term incentives to encourage the purchase or sale of a product or service. So they have to be, these promotions have to be for a short term. Actually, it should be valid for a short term, and this time period shouldn't be known or expected, because knowing this will make customers postpone their purchases until that certain time comes. Unfortunately, sometimes a sales promotion becomes very long term, that customers wait until the price is getting lower, or wait for the buy two get one free campaign as well. Well, these are a company's promotional tools. So why do we say integrated marketing communication instead of promotion? It is the integration by the company of its communication channels to deliver a clear, consistent, and compelling message about the organization and its brands. It means that the company should deliver the same message in as much as a different media, in as much as a different way through different media. That's it. Because if you don't send the customers a clear and consistent message, they will confuse. Imagine a company using very diverse channels to deliver its messages. It's, marketing department, it's salespeople or personal selling, maybe several advertising agents that the company works with, and PR. It may have also PR department, public relations department. It will definitely be confusing if the company does not make an effort to overcome this difficulty and unite these all efforts. I'm not talking about delivering one same message through each media. Instead, many voices singing the same song. This would not, make anyone confused. But you will get the message in harmony. And every possible and responsible person or media should give the same or total message. Well, these are the basic terms of promotion. So, how do we communicate with our target people, target market customers? I will quickly summarize. This part is you might already know. And as you can see in the picture, we can send message by encoding through media, and the receiver decodes the message. It seems so easy, but truth it's not. Because receivers may decode messages differently. Therefore, senders should adjust, messages according to the receiver's traits or characteristics. But also, it should be suitable for a, certain type of media. During the encoding stage, the sender or the company, let's say, puts its messages into a symbolic form that would have certain meanings, hopefully with the same meanings of the target market. And the receiver or the target people will assign meanings to the message. This might cause problems. Another thing is the noise in the environment, which refers, here it's written, which refers to unplanned static or distortion during the communication process, which results in the receivers getting a different message than the one sender sent. The noise may also cause the message not to be delivered to the recipient. So, how do we develop effective marketing communication? Well, there are 5 steps that we can talk about. We will talk about, identifying the target audience, determining the communication objectives, designing the message, choosing the media, and selecting the message source. Let's start with the first one, identifying the target audience. To develop an effective marketing communication, a company, or let's say the sender, should very well know its target audience or the receiver. Potential buyers, current users, people making the buying decision, or people influencing, etc. You also know that these people may be individuals, groups, publics, and so on. As the target audience will affect the company's decisions, we have to be sure about what will be said, how it will be said, when it will be said, where it will be said, who will say the message or deliver the message. Once we define our target audience, the next step is determining the communication objectives. In this step, we must decide on the response that we want, because there are different responses to target, such as make them aware or in favor of the brand, or make them buy our products or buy more often, or etc. Our target audience, maybe in any of these 6 buyer readiness stages: awareness, knowledge, liking, preference, conviction, and the last one, purchase. Consumers will pass through these stages. It is believed, or they pass through these stages to make a purchase. Or in another way, I can say that we maybe have to push a little them through these stages. Okay, for the consumers that don't know our brand, first we should build awareness and give them enough knowledge about the company. Once or when they are familiar with the company, we should keep communicating with them to make their feelings, or to turn their feelings maybe into favor of the brand. Then prefer our brand over others. And finally, we should convince them that our brand is the best possible brand for them to make a purchase as an outcome. Sorry for that. But sometimes even a convinced consumer might not buy our products. Then we may take another step, and for example make discounted offerings or special sales promotions to also convince him or her or them to make a purchase. Designing a message. In this stage, we should carefully design a proper message that would get, here you can see our IADA model. I get attention, interest, desire, and action. This is this is known as, let's say, IADA model. These stages are connected, and the consumer would pass through these stages with carefully planned communication. While we are designing the message, its content and structure and the format become very important. I mean, we should decide what to say. Here represents message content, and how to say, related with message structure and the format. Well, message content is important to move people toward awareness to conviction, or from attention to the action stages. To get the desired response, we can benefit from these three types of appeals, let's say: rational, emotional, and moral appeals. Rational appeals rational appeal relates to the audience's self-interest. These appeals show people how the company, or how the products of the company or offerings of the company can benefit, can be benefitable for people, or the company should show people how their products offerings can give superior value maybe for them, and therefore they address here customers' rational thoughts or decisions. Emotional appeal is an attempt to stir up positive or negative emotions to motivate a purchase. Well, you can understand from the name, it appeals to us by sparking our emotions. They can use positive or negative, emotions like fun, joy, happiness, or fear. They also use fear as an appeal. It's complicated, but most of the advertisers don't suggest using, fear as a theme, as a content, but sometimes it really works, especially for insurance companies. It definitely works. When we are when we come to moral appeal, it is directed to an audience's sense of what is right and proper, such as a cleaner environment. The company's messages might cover cleaner environment, equal rights for women, and so on. So, message structure. In this stage, we face with three things to consider. First, whether to draw a conclusion or leave it to the audience. We should determine or solve this puzzle. And let me say something. I myself do not like when a commercial or even a comedy sketch draw a conclusion for me. I feel like an idiot. I feel like that I am an idiot that cannot infer this outcome or this, conclusion by myself. So I find it wrong, but it depends. So it should be carefully handled with. I believe this should be left to the audience. But anyway, this is company's decision. Another issue is whether to present the strongest arguments first or last. Actually, these both arguments are, not arguments. These both issues are strong, has its strength, so has different benefits. It's really up to the company. According to me, both works. But maybe if you ask me which one is better, I would say the first one would be to attract your emotions, maybe, or thoughts, but the last one would strike you. So it really depends on the situation. Well, the third issue is whether to present a one-sided argument or a two-sided argument. Here, one-sided argument refers to mentioning only about products' strong sides or both sides. Products' strong and weak sides. Well, these three are some issues when you are designing or generating message structure. The last one I will talk about for today is message format. And we need a strong format for the message. To attract attention, we can use the novelty, contrast, eye-catching images, headlines, etc. The chosen media will determine the message structure, by the way. And if it's a print, why is not written here? Wait a minute. I should add. Okay, I was saying, I was talking about message format, and it's a printed message. The headline, the copy, illustration, color are important things. And if it's a radio message, here words, sounds, voices become important. For a TV message, body language, facial expressions, gestures, dressing, posture, and etc. are all important. And finally, if the message is on a product or on its package, this time texture, scent, color, size, shape, sometimes odor, it's written here, sorry, scent are, should be, these all should be taken into account. Okay, this is all for today. I will keep talking about the promotion next week. Okay, see you.